happened when you were in Germany or whatever you were, where you decided you wanted to come to Australia?
So you're specifically asking me about an immigration story. Do I get this right?
Yes.
Are we all immigrants at some point? I think so. And looking back, growing up in the East, we call it in the European East, specifically Poland in my case, my father decided when I was 4 years old to take this family and to leave Poland and go to Germany for obvious reasons at this time in 1968, something like this. So definitely driven by this father, looking for a better life, looking for challenge on the other side. He has been a successful dentist, I have to say, in Poland. He decided from everything overboard and going to the West. Maybe this is a little bit what I got from him. I grew up in Germany as a German. I speak the other language, but I'm feeling German. Went through the military, went to the or high school military and then university. And I thought I settled. But at some point, this urge, not an urge of getting more, but looking for something else, There's always something you like to achieve once you achieved something. And this urge definitely got it from my father, not being the settlement itself. I decided at some point, after I had a successful career, I have to say, in Germany as a dentist with my own office, selling everything and retire down under. Therefore, I'm here.
What was attractive about Australia in comparison to, let's say, America or Canada or even the UK?
To be honest, I considered Canada in the first place. America I never considered due to the system in America, which I can't rely on my self-health approach, my holistic thinking about health, which is not given in America. Germany definitely is one of the places, like I also lived in Switzerland, where health is in the forehead of people, and also the system is in the forehead of people, so it's a very good system. Second, I would consider Australia, therefore I've chosen Australia. Because once you retire and you're not in the system as a practitioner, you rely on the system. And this was the best system for me beside Europe.
So were you talking about as a dentist or are you talking about as living there?
As living there and not being a practicing dentist, because I retired in Europe and came to Australia as a retired dentist after 25 years and actually didn't want to do dentistry or never thought about dentistry in the first place.
Practicing dentistry.
Practicing dentistry, correct.
And what was that deciding factor between Canada and between Australia, where you decided, okay, actually Australia, since they have very similarities?
Yeah, I was always intrigued by New Zealand, to be honest with you, down under, and I visited New Zealand, and this took me by surprise how nice it was. But again, at this stage, living in New Zealand was tricky in not being a dentist. And so I decided visiting Australia, and I came to Melbourne and fell in love. Sometimes you can't explain it, it's just there. So I decided, okay, then I stay in Australia, not in New Zealand.
So the first time where you decided you want to pursue migrating to either Australia or New Zealand, you started with New Zealand, and what happened? So you sold everything and then visited, or you visited first and then decided to sell?
No. As the saying goes, you want to conquer the island, burn the boats. So I burned the boats, left everything behind. There's in my education, my upbringing, there's hardly a plan B. You have plan A or plan A, because this keeps you focused. And of course there are failures, and I had a lot of failures in my life. So it's not that you need always a plan B, you need to plan A and focus on the plan A again and a little bit twist it around and tweak around and still plan A. Otherwise you are too much distracted of the real true north, which we say. And so this was the reason.
So when you visited New Zealand, what is it that you didn't like about it, where you decided to visit
The-
Australia?
The opportunities, economically speaking, opportunities were, it's a beautiful country. Opportunities were just for a small country. The unemployment rate is high. I love the people. Met Maori people, absolute fantastic people, very, very nice to you as a foreigner. You not always get, with our history, not always get the nicest invite. But yeah, economically speaking, it was tricky to survive there. And so I decided going a little bit bigger, and the next bigger is quite big, is Australia.
What did you have in mind in working there, since you decided that you're going to be a retired dentist?
Yeah, again, this is, first of all, there's always this burning urge, which you sometimes don't feel. But I was approached by the Royal Flying Dentists in Australia, working with them. And I said, look, I can't work because I don't have the accreditation to work in Australia. So the answer of the CEO, Nicole Henty, was, so then get one. There was not even a second thought. And while she was so clear about this, not even giving me the chance to think about this, I said, okay, then I have to do this, right? Someone needs someone, maybe with my qualifications might help, this country might help, because it's tricky, I was told, working as a Royal Flying Dentist all over the place, outside the box thinking, being uncomfortable, comfortable. So apparently I was the perfect match for that. And again, coming back to my father, loving a challenge, loving a new opportunity, and loving my job, my passion. And maybe it was never going to be that I retire forever. Maybe that was just waiting for me. Sometimes, the door opens while the other is closed.
So what, before even knowing about this opportunity that you can actually practice dentistry, which is your passion, but not in the routine, traditional way that we know, what jobs did you have in mind to support yourself financially?
I don't need a job because I'm retired and I get a retired pension. I can live without a job comfortably. So therefore I never looked into this. I wouldn't say life is boring then, because I've done a lot of other things, and I always challenge myself with having new adventures, from a heavy truck license, etc., etc. I go all over the place to get knowledge, get involved, meeting people, not only being on the beach and getting tanned. So I was always interested in many, many things. I did education as a personal trainer and strength conditioning coach, so I'm quite colorful in this regard. So yeah, and I have my own gym and train people. So yeah, I never get bored.
How were you able to migrate? Did you contact an agency or you applied by yourself?
Yes, I contacted an agent in Melbourne. It's a law professor of immigration who is very famous in this regard, getting people into the country, because it's tricky due to my age, due to my not professional degree which I could bring in. But yeah, took a while, but I'm now Australian citizen, and I'm very happy.
What was the path?
Oh, it was a lengthy part. It was a lengthy path, to
Like
say
the
it.
visa subclass?
Yes, you go from the bridging visa A to B to which takes always time, and they always want to see that you are really like to stay in the country. You are in the first part of the visa, you're not able, with multi-entry means you can't fly back. So I kept in the beginning a little bit of my passion and my love alive while working still in a clinic in Zurich, in Switzerland, and having the best of both worlds, working 3 months, coming over, working 3 months, coming over. But then with immigration, they said, look, you have to show us you wouldn't like to stay here for a longer time. So yeah, and that, fair enough. So, and I helped out, a friend has a couple of clinics, so I helped out on the weekends, or especially in the areas where we have the summer holidays, the winter holidays, where there's a shortage in dentistry and dentists. So I helped out there, and having the part of my life which also has definitely have a big impact on my life and how I'm living today.
How long did it take you to get the permanent residency
8 years, to be perfectly honest. From 2017 to 2025. I got this year.
Looking back with all the challenges and the lengthy path it took, do you regret the decision?
Which decision? Coming to Australia? No, absolutely not. I met on this way and still meeting so amazing people. When we say Australians are laid back, this is definitely a good thing. Europeans are a little bit withdrawn, maybe a bit tricky to get to. Australians are so open and the population is so multicultural and so diverse, which we don't have really in Europe, particularly if you're just in Europe speaking, living in Germany. So no, I would do it the same again. I mean, with less mistakes. In hindsight, you don't have to touch everything you should not touch. But generally speaking, yes, I do it again.
Would you go back to live in Europe?
No, absolutely not. Once you get to know the people here and the lifestyle, if you want to be the most successful, have your income on the top edge, you work and live in Switzerland. I can say this without any bias, because this is the market where dentistry is, where the money is, but also where the burnouts are, where the 12 and 16 hours days, which I had, are. And if you want to do this and drive the Bentley, you have to go to Zurich. If you don't want to do this and do some different lifestyle, so to speak, this saying which really nobody thinks about, work-life balance, often it's this work-work balance and work-life balance, then the decision is for Australia.
When did you decide to do the ADC?
After the CEO of the Royal Flying Dentist asked me, look, can you start tomorrow? Not really, because I have to go through the procedure and protocols, and they decided this. And this has been now a journey of 4 years. It's a very lengthy process, I can say that. If we could shorten this somehow, that would be very, very nice. But it is also a process where I have to grow. I was quite surprised how difficult the system is, how different the system is, how complex the system is. Even after so many years of dentistry and my knowledge, it is still a challenge.
What year was the year you actually applied for your assessment to start the ADC journey?
2019, end of 2019. But application was one thing, and then you start so easily because you think you have all the time in the world. Today I would think I should have started a bit, more structured, because my first written exam, I went in, and I have to say it's very blunt, without any exercise. I just went in and thought I answered a couple of hundred questions and walk out, and I failed terribly because this was not what I expected.
So the first time you went completely, how long did it take you between doing your assessment and getting the eligibility to apply for the exam?
This took a part because due to my birth certificate, which has a little bit of a tricky name structure in it. My name is written differently than I have in my passport now. So the first application was rejected because of one L missing, or one L too much. From which side you want to look at this, my surname. So I was rejected because the documents were not showing up the same name. So I have to clarify this first. This took a while, again going back to my birth certificate, etc. So this took a little bit of a turn where I lost some time, unfortunately. But yeah, it's what it is.
And when you decided to do your part 1 the first time, why did you decide to do it on your own? What thoughts were going in your mind?
I wasn't aware about the ADC process at all. I just heard you have to apply, and have to be also, in fairness, if you look at the website, they clearly state you can self-study, you can read these books, and you will be comfortable going through this. And it definitely is correct. However, it's a very competitive exam, and you have to read maybe all of the books. I haven't. the books they propose. So maybe I read half of them, and this was a mistake. And it's a very competitive exam. So yeah, I couldn't pass it the first time.
Would you say when you sign up with a coaching provider, it's not really about the content itself, it's about the shortcuts and the accountability and support you get?
Yes, and at this stage when I looked at the internet, only a couple of names coming up on Google search first, and you say first comes first, and you go with this. And this is definitely a good thing to do in principle. Reviews, sometimes are not the true reviews. So if you don't know, and I didn't know anybody in this, now I have so many more connections and network, I would maybe give other advice today, but I didn't have anybody
so
to ask.
The question, why would someone consider taking professional coaching for part one?
Because it is needed. The dentistry, even the holistic approach or the very thorough approach in any country, and I'm not saying Europe is better than the Middle East or the Chinese, the ADC process is a very particular one. And dentistry knowing is one thing, passing exam is another thing. So you have to apply common sense, you apply your knowledge in dentistry, and you apply the protocols and procedure of ADC. And this has to merge together. Without, it's like a three leg. You take one leg away, this stand folds. So you need all of them and merge them in a way. Only, I think, and I'm teaching this now, only a mentor can give you. On your own, you're quite lost. Definitely people do this and pass, but this is the lucky ones. For the broad mass, you need mentoring, one way or another.
When did you start your part two? Was it immediately after you passed?
Yes, started immediately after. But then I was a little more choosy because I couldn't clear my theory and a written exam with the first Google first search company. So I found someone who was recommended far smaller, and with this person, very, very small company in Egypt, I passed. And there I've seen, again, it is important to have a mentor, but it's also important who you choose. And I'm not saying one is better than the other, but some fits better to other people. And I'm teaching now, and I can't teach everybody, but a lot of people trust me, and a lot of people go to someone else, which is absolutely fair. You have to find a mentor, you find the right mentor, fits your chemistry and your thinking to get you from point A to point B.
And that's why I say that this is now what I have found in prep doctors, and that we have a plethora of mentors, all from different backgrounds, and we all work as a team rather than just one person going here and there. So I just wanted to say that message. Go on.
Yeah, and after passing, this mentor recommended me the prep doctor company. This is what you find in prep doctors now. We don't have this sole mentor who runs everything. We have an amazing bunch of people, mentors from all walks of life, which is important, first of all, for the different personalities we teach, but also for the different areas we teach. People who are very good in technical might not have the feeling for the communication, and vice versa. So Prep Doctors Australia supports the whole range of the ADC examen, and therefore it's the only one company I trust.
How was your part two preparation?
The part two preparation was, again, a little bit lighthearted from the beginning of, because as a dentist, practicing dentistry for 25 years, quite comfortable holding a burr and holding instruments. Again, the protocols and procedures and the accuracy ADC ask for is a next level, which is an ideal situation on plastic teeth, perfect preparations. And this is kind of an art to pass specifically from part 1. More people can pass because it's possible. From the part 2, only so many people are allowed going into the system. So the level of professionalism in this kind of art is, I have to say, next level. I never prepared a tooth like I have to prepare a tooth now, because we have no ideal teeth. People coming, they've broken teeth, and so the margin can be all the same, and the margin are already subgingival, which are not here. And the standards are very, very high, and rightly enough, because now teaching, I see that from different countries come different experiences and different knowledge, which has to be, let me say, straightened. I won't say baton to someone, but straightened to what the ADC here, APRA, the dental board, expect us to serve to our community or to our patients. Due to the fact we just explained, you have to find someone who can provide all the services in an unbiased way to the point to get you over the line. And I started with Dr. Lina with Identa, and she now merged with Prep Doctors, which I'm very happy about. And now I'm part of the team and I mentor in the communication. And this was the best decision I could ever make.
What separates Prep Doctors from everybody else?
To be honest with you, I can't give you the pros and cons, because I have only Prep Doctors for the part 2 chosen. But to find flaws, I have to think a long way to find some, because the system is quite watertight. Of course, we improve every day and we fine-tune things, but I can't say that I'm able to see a system out there which can, and now part of them, and I'm responsible for part of the success of other people, that we can say we have lacking in many areas big time, because we don't.
What would you tell someone who is deciding whether they should start the ADC journey or not?
I would ask, why would you start the ADC journey in the first place? What is the reason? Because there is a saying, it says, is the why is big enough? Sorry, is the why is big enough? The how doesn't matter. If you are concerned about the how many hours you put in, how many sleepless night, how many tears you will share, if this is a problem from you, then don't start. But if your why, for whatever reason, my why was working as a Royal Flying Dentist, helping the community, giving back what I got in dentistry, if the why is strong enough, it pulls you to any house, through any house. So yeah, that's what the question I would ask.
So is the ADC journey worth it?
Absolutely. Because if you love your job, I mean, I've been now a dentist for 30 years. If you love your job, then, 30 years speaks for itself, then yeah, the how is secondary, the why is the primary. This is the story of my life. It's sad and it's funny.
Speak clearly and make sure that you are presentable like an ADC examiner.
I am absolutely presentable. Look at me.
So how do you find, coming out of the closet now?
Oh, now we go.
And we got deep.
Now we go under this. Seriously?
Answer.
Yeah.